Hello there and welcome to the Standpoint. Hey, I've told you, this is a blessed month. August is my month of testimony. And I pray that every single person watching us from wherever you are, you will receive a testimony in this month of August. Welcome to the Standpoint. Today we are focusing on that group of, younger people that's sometimes really difficult for parents to handle. The adolescents. Those of you who are already there, I'm still struggling with my 4 years, in between there. But today we are going to look at the challenges confronting today's adolescent. They have issues. Oh, yes, they have issues. And sometimes parents will forget that we've been there before. And indeed, during our time, things were totally different from this millennials with the social media and all that. Anyway, welcome to the Standpoint. It's going to be very educative. It's going to be revealing. It's going to be informative. And I believe that by the end of the program, families will be healed because there will be understanding. There will be bonding. And there will be that effort to try and bring the younger ones closer to parents and the people who are supposed to take care of them. Well, let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth. This is Adepa. And thank you to Ophelia Crossland Designs for my dress. My hair is by Inshilo, and my makeup today is by @the_glow bar. Follow her on Instagram and on Facebook as well. We take a break. When we come back, challenges of today's adolescent. You are in for a ride. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Standpoint. Today we are talking about the adolescent, and we'll be addressing some of the challenges. I'm sure if we say we are going to do everything, it will take us months, but we'll try and, as much as possible, address some of the challenges that they face that we have no clue about. Well, let me say thank you to my sponsors, that's GTP Timeless. GTP is embarking on an OGA campaign. OGA is original, genuine, and authentic, right? So when you're buying any fabric, they're fake. We are not fake. Yes, we want the original one, and we must support our own. We all cry about the challenges of Ghana, but we need to support homegrown businesses for us to be able to sustain or move on to where we want to go. So when you want to buy GTP, just make sure you go to any wooden shop or go to any of the accredited GTP dealers across the country, nationwide, or go to www.buygtp.com. That's what I always do. And thank you to Esteron Balloons and Accessories. Everything balloons and accessories. Just get in touch with them and they will sort you out. Well, my guest today, Okubofo Abefi. The prodigal sister has returned home. I have Madam Mercy C. Ajabe. She's a communication specialist and gender advocate and a writer. And she has these amazing magazines for teens, and young people and adults as well. When you read, it really guides you and helps you. We'll be talking more about that later. And I also have Reverend Dr. Ernest Enim Opari. He's a family medicine resident at Kolebu Teaching Hospital, a pastor at Victory Bible Church International. Oh, that's my father's church, Really? Yes. Reverend Akong and then the wife, Auntie Georgina. Let me greet them. Hello. I'm prodigal as well. Good to have you on the Standpoint.
Thank you very much for having me.
First of all, Reverend Doctor. I always get to Reverend Doctor. Me, I love titles, so don't play with people's titles. Who's family medicine?
Okay, so family medicine is a relatively new faculty in Ghana. Okay. In places outside Ghana, like South Africa, is quite advanced in Africa. But generally, you look at maybe places like UK and America, where it's a kind of specialization that has to do with giving healthcare, which is comprehensive, is continuous and coordinated, in that you are not specialized in a particular group of persons, like maybe just women or men or children, or organ-specific diseases, like maybe you are just looking at the liver or you are just looking at the breast.
Okay.
So it gives you the leverage of coordinating care for a group of persons or an individual, which means that if I was seeing a particular patient, I would most likely follow up with the parents and follow up with their children. And so you tend to have a family history in context, and where, you know, sometimes, especially in our system, gradually we are getting there with the rolling out of what the electronic medical records, where some information is integrated. So it's not the case where you go to hospital A, the person gives you, a doctor gives you this medication, and another doctor prescribes another medication. Not because they don't know, but the lack of communication can lead to less efficacy of the drugs. But when you have a family physician, he's able to coordinate all of this and put this in context, because he or she has the benefit of knowing what is going on. So it's a growing field.
And then I would say you are one of the doctors that parents will find it very easy, and then
Yes.
children too easy talking to you, because it's a family.
Exactly.
Yes. So you've been
It
dealing with
gives-
some adolescents as well.
Yes. It does happen. I mean, before we go into the discussion, I remember one time I had a mother come in with an adolescent child, and she was a female. Apparently, she had gone from one hospital to the other, and that's the beauty of our discipline. We tend to delve more, not just into the physical, but what we call the biopsychosocial approach. So we deal with not just the disease entity, but look at other determinants of the health. So apparently, she had gone to other places and complained of pain here, pain there. So the mother was just concerned. So she came, and then I spoke to her. Initially, I made sure that the mother was around, just to gain her confidence, because, of course, there's a chaperone and nurse around. But to gain her confidence, the mother sat in the discussion, and then I excused the daughter first. And I spoke to the mother. She told me she wasn't sure about how well the child was doing, because it tends to be that this daughter comes home quite late. She suspected something, but she didn't have any evidence. And so later I asked that I spoke to the doctor, and she told me, okay, she has a boyfriend and they've been having sex. She actually got pregnant, and so she terminated the pregnancy, and she was worried. So of course we had to run a battery of tests to make sure that she was not infected with any of these sexually transmitted infections. And I spoke to her about first abstinence, which is one the best way of protection when it comes to these, but also offered her options, including contraception and then a condom. So you could see that the mother was, I would say, oblivious, because she had a knack that something must have been wrong, but it was not biological in a way. And so that's the complexity of dealing.
She didn't want to accept
it. She was in denial.
No. My daughter is too young.
Yes.
She can have sex.
And you can tell that she's having things that she shouldn't have access to, because her mother is struggling to make ends meet. Yet the daughter seems comfortable. And so we had a chat, and generally I would say that worldwide, adolescent health is a problem, and it's epitomized in I think the Ghana Demographic Health Report Survey of 2014. We show that generally adolescent patronage of health services in Ghana is quite low, even though there has been a steady increase. So it stands to reason that usually they would come to the hospital not because of a physical need, and so for us health professionals, we need to reposition ourselves to be able to receive them regardless of what society thinks, because we are trained to be very objective and still very compassionate. So that's what I do, and I enjoy it.
That's interesting, and it's good to know that we are having that, gradually getting that in our system. It's very important. Sis, we're doing gender feminism and all that. Then suddenly I saw the magazine, Teen Magazine. I wasn't surprised initially, because we've talked about some of the challenges of children for years, and you've been very passionate about it. So when I saw the magazine, the Teen Magazine for Teens, I was like, what really made you move into the focus on children or adolescents, let's say? Yeah.
Thanks, Ohene Yeri. Gifty auntie.
I knew she was going to do that.
Yes, you're right. There's been advocacy about women and all that. But within the advocacy, I realized that these women we are dealing with, and I mean, a lot of them are ignorant, or they are ignorant of what the situation is.
Yeah.
And when you trace backwards, like Doc was saying, they don't have the needed information, that capacity that will make them stand, ask questions or certain demands. And then with the introduction of this adolescent sexual program that I tried building up in Wildaf,
Yes.
I was shocked, because interacting with the children, the things that they knew,
Yeah.
when we thought they didn't know, and the information they had, I realized we were just dealing with the surfaces of the issues, but we need to delve down. And I brought in my experience from being a house mistress, a teacher, dealing with the parents, and then I conducted a survey, asking questions. And that is what blew my mind, that, listen, we are sitting on a time bomb. Did you know that of Ghana's 31 million population, 14.7 are adolescents from between 10 and 19 years? And this is from the Ghana Statistical Service. I didn't say it.
Yeah.
And the UN data. And when we were growing up, we had options.
Right.
There were avenues.
Right.
But these adolescents, already they are in a confused state of transition, moving from childhood to adulthood. They don't know what is happening to them. They don't understand what is going on, and they don't have the support. And so they're just grouping in the dark, trying to experiment what is good, what is helpful. And so if we do not focus on them, provide them those needed pieces of information that will guide them, because it's a process. I mean, a lot of people have gone through it, and so they can also go through it. Then we are waiting to see so many things, including crime, and look at our levels of teenage pregnancy. And these people who are pregnant, a lot of them are ignorant. They don't even know what is happening within their body.
Right.
I'm sure Doc will talk about the changes in the body. They don't understand what is happening in their body. And most of the guys or the boys will tell you that, I didn't penetrate, it was only brushing. Yes, but there is semen moving from you into her, and so there will be pregnancy. And then I realized that, no, we need to address them. And when you interact with them, they tell you their problems. And one critical thing they say is that nobody is listening. Nobody is there. What do I do? If I encounter this problem, where do I go? Who do I speak to?
Right.
And so these were the things that pushed me into putting all those pieces together.
And I will commend you for that, and I'll say that it's timely, because just I want to go on Facebook and read my Facebook or Hineri Gifty Auntie, that's the Oga page, and I posted then the first comment that came just hit me, and it's about the where to go to, and that's Tisha Asari. He says, one problem I faced as an adolescent was I couldn't get parental love. No one to talk to when I'm down or facing any problems, because I had a very strict parent who felt they were always right and won't allow you to talk. Even now that I'm grown, stuff I went through are still having negative effects on me. There's this tendency of believing that children grow out of things. Whatever they go through, Oyakola, Bekeni, she's, or he's a little boy, he will grow out of it. But it doesn't happen like that. Let me take a break. When we come back, we'll get into some of the real issues that these children go through. I mean, I don't think we can exhaust it, but we can, go through. So adolescent is 10 to 19.
Yes, that's what the UN says.
19. That's what the UN says. Okay. Right, you're watching The Standpoint. We are talking about challenges confronting today's adolescent. Well, let me say thank you to our supporters. That's Standing Floral and Decor. They gave us the plants for this set. That's giving us, the plants are all natural. I'm a natural girl, apart from my wig. And then thank you to Casapreco, Puma Drinks and Awake Purified Mineral Water, Kodam's Gift and Stationery, everything gift and stationery. Just go there at Cow Lane, Accra. Yep, cleaning services, every occasion, whatever it is, just organize some cleaning for with them. and they sort it. They do spraying as well. Juice time, Go-Got yogurt, Penta by Penta Foods, Cake Technique, House of Food, Auntie Vera. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our supporters and sponsors. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Standpoint. Say thank you to GTP for my cloth. This is Adepa, not Adepa Dumas. This is Adepa. We have Adepa, we have Adepa Dumas, we have Instruma, we have Safwa, we have New Style. You know, so many of them. Whichever the occasion, just know the one. But for me, top of the range is Adepa Dumas. You know, olden days. Can ask your grandma. They don't play with their Dumas. Hey, my wake up by Insular GH. Makeup, nicely done, that natural look by @the_glow bar. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for making it possible for me to sit here to look presentable. And my guests, I have Mrs. Mercy C. Ejabing and then Reverend Dr. Ernest Opari. So the adolescent, our cases, what are some of the challenges? Let me come back to you, Mercy. What are some of the challenges confronting them today? Apart from what we read, the lack of parental love.
Essentially,
Is that really a big deal, the lack of parental
it's
love?
a big deal, Gifty. It's serious because at this stage, they are in transition. They are themselves confused. They don't know what is happening to them. I mean, yesterday he was in diapers. Today she has breasts. There's some pimple on his face. He's growing beard. And so they are wondering, they're trying to figure out what is going on. So they need information to understand that, listen, this is a process. These are the likely things that would go on. This is what you should expect. And this is how you should handle them. That is the first thing. And then they need that support, that love, because they are searching for identity. That is why sometimes you see an adolescent, the parents will tell you that, oh, he or she is not manageable at all. I don't know what to do to them anymore because they are searching. They are trying to find out what ideologies they should pursue, even in terms of religion, their clothing. And they are also looking for validation, acceptance. And so if they don't get it from the parents or the adults they interact or deal with, then they just fall on their friends. And because they need that validation or acceptance, whatever their friends say is good, that is good. If their friends say is not good, and the parents are saying it is good, but the parents are not their friends, they don't listen to you. So this is the time we need to draw near to them. What are they doing? Who are their friends? What are their interests? What do they want to pursue? Some parents will tell you it's a science and science all the way.
You must
It
do.
is vocational and it is vocational, but they have their own talent. And now the issue of social media. So there's a positive and then there's a negative aspect. But who is telling them what to do? What information are they receiving?
Reverend, before you come in, let me read some more messages here from my Facebook page. Ekuya Kumsin says, I lived with relatives as an adolescent. Though they treated me as family, it wasn't as a parent would treat her own child. I couldn't discuss what was bothering me with them because we didn't connect emotionally. Due to that, I don't have any love for my parents because I feel they shouldn't have allowed me to stay with relatives. Now there's another one here. Margaret Enim said, during my adolescent days, I had no one to share my problems with, and that really affected me till now. Whoa. That's an issue.
It is. Both of them
That
are
parental...
both of them are very practical. When you read this, the good book, the Bible, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6 says, train up the child the way he should grow, and so that when he grows, he will not depart from it. But the bigger question, like we are having this today, is, are the parents themselves well equipped to train the children? So the responsibility is clearly mapped out for us as parents and as people who have influence in society. But in terms of preparation, it's really... sometimes I tend to sit in as a doctor and also as a pastor. I tend to think that there should be a balance. There's one aspect where the adolescent feel or think that they need all the love. And so a parent may also go overboard or to the extreme where they are very strict, trying to, I won't say manipulate, but manage or micromanage every single decision of theirs. And this is a point in their lives where,
the parent.
yes, we understand you have the experience, but when their decision will not change too much, I think you should give them the leverage to be able to explore. I'm not asking for negative exploration or experimentation, but if I have to choose between a black shoe and a brown shoe, and it's really not, like maybe you have options, allow them to choose and let them exercise some level of autonomy.
Right.
Because you see, this growth we're talking about is progressive. If you kept the adolescents, which we defined earlier as being between 10 and 19 years, according to the WHO, just a few countries say 12 to 18, like the Australian medical guidelines. But more or less, many countries will stick to the 10 to 19. So with that one, if you kept on, in quotes, suppressing certain decisions of the adolescent, then when they are exposed to the university, tertiary, where options are available, where they can make decisions on their own, they feel like this is real freedom and they don't have any boundaries. So they are just going, every kind of decision they take is not guarded, is not being measured and everything. So with regards to the love, you know, some parents also show too much love where you don't allow the child or the adolescent to also think through. If an adolescent came to you, yes, so then it also doesn't come out right. I think the parents need to have a certain training, like we're having this today on this program on Standpoint, where they have to accept that it is the balance that matters. It's not so much the tough love and saying that I'm very strict, I'm not going to allow you to go and you are going to stay indoors, nobody's going to come home. But I bet you're not going to be home all day. And once you have a phone, because you are saying I have internet at home, I have food at home, I'm giving you a phone, I have a laptop, you have everything. And that avenue, like Madam Ejabin mentioned, Mrs. Ejabin, when you say, I'm leaving you physically at home and I'm going to work, the child might not have stepped a meter out of the house. But the internet has given that girl or boy so much access than he would or she would maybe in your whole lifetime. Because they can connect to people in the US, connect to people anywhere, everywhere. And if they can, so it's so much of a balance, if you ask me, putting together understanding that usually in this adolescent group, they have a lot of changes and so rapid. Like Mrs. Ejabi mentioned, physically they are growing. For the boys, they change in voice, they grow a bit muscular.
Talking about the internet, last week we discussed cyberbullying and blackmail,
Yes.
where even grown women, including influential women in authority, are being blackmailed by people who have been able to coerce them into sending them their nude pictures or certain messages or have certain conversations that they look a bit explicit. And they are paying money and all that. And when we leave these children at home, who know my 3-year-old, now she's 4. So, 4-year-old can just crack my password like that.
So you can imagine that.
So you can imagine the site, even if you block it, they will just...
It's a big concern, and I'm happy, I'm glad that we are exposing, like you said, it may not be, we will not be able to finish the discussion, but this should go on. I think it should go to the level of even policy, because you mentioned which avenues that we can bring these people in. And during the COVID, we have unpublished data from where I work, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Family Medicine Department. I already mentioned that generally adolescents don't patronize health services, but there was a remarkable drop in terms of percentage amongst adolescents who visited the facility before and after the onset of COVID. And it just points to the fact that the adolescents need peculiar care. And if we're able to integrate this care well, we'll be able to answer, because it has to do with education as well. It's not, I believe that our parents or people, influential leaders, are ready to do it, but we need to institutionalize certain things. In my view, I think in addition to this program, in terms of policy, perhaps, I don't think it's a nation where we have a policy ruling, but I think we need some adolescent care, just like we have antenatal care.
care.
We know we have women of all age groups may have
Yeah.
similar challenges.
Yeah.
But when you get pregnant, we say you are pregnant and your needs are peculiar.
Peculiar.
I think we need something like an adolescent care for every health facility. I mean, it may be difficult from the start, but that should be the vision.
Yeah, I know Marie Stopes International is starting a program like a service like that, especially for people in the adult. They call it menstrual and
they
reproductive.
have always had.
The menstrual. So they have something like that for them. But as you said, it has to be nationwide.
Yes.
Maybe we'll have another program specifically about family medicine and how it works and how we need to pay more attention to that. But Mercy, I remember few years ago when we had a case, you know, Doris, our sister Doris may know about it. Now Dr. Doris and Mamaga, she's a queen mother as well, where we had to deal with a case of siblings, a brother and a sister, who were sexually active, were having sex with each other. And the comment was like, but everybody's doing it. We thought it was odd, you know. I said, but everybody is doing it, you know. Our friends are doing, they're sleeping with their brothers and sisters, all because they don't go out, but they watch porn at home. You know, they listen to their friends. And so when you think that the best way you can do is just protect them, don't go here, don't do that, your friend, and to every parent, their child's friend is bad influence, but their children are, you know, are good and innocent. How do we handle this?
It boils down to information. Basic. There's no information for them. Because this information, that's why we say that empowering the adolescent, that is the whole project, the whole magazine, everything. How are we empowering them? We are helping them to know that, listen, at this stage, because you have developed, and the medical experts will tell you, because you have developed secondary sexual tendencies, your hormones are rife. So this is what is happening. You will have the urge for sex. It was divinely created, otherwise you will not be productive. But how do you go about that? When that happens, what do you do? Do you just go having sex all over the place? You will die. You will contract diseases. And you can't just get up and have sex with everybody and anybody. Do you know that there are adolescents who are living with HIV? A lot of them. And some of them, it is not because they were promiscuous. A lot of them contracted it before the mother-to-child prevention program was instituted. And so they got it from their mothers. And they are living with them. Some of them are in school. They need to be on medication. Some have we have adolescents who have diabetes. Some of them are autistic.
Some of them have cancer, you know.
So many things. So what do we do to them? The clue and the key is information. If they have the information, they know that, okay, if I'm diabetic, what is my level? What is my range? When do I take my insulin? Where do I go to? Who counsels me? What do I eat? And so
I'm just listening to you, I'm just wondering. So do we empower the parents or the adolescents themselves? Or we have to do a holistic empowerment?
It's holistic. We need to empower the adolescent, we need to empower the parent, and particularly we need to inform and educate teachers because they do so much with them. I mean, take the whole time. If you take the year, look at the number of months the children spend in school. Even when they are on vacation, they are attending some class of a sort. So a child comes to class and he or she is dull, uninterested in what is happening. Like Doc said, what is going on within him or her? What is happening? What is he or she processing? And they have mood swings. So one moment, I call them silly teenagers. One moment, they're so excited about nothing. The next moment, they are so moody and crying. So why are you crying? I don't even know. I just feel like crying. So how do I help you? And it's because of the mood swings. So if we do not provide the needed information for them, first of all, and then secondly for the parents, because they are supposed to be, closer to them, and then with all that deal with them, teachers, pastors, Sunday school teachers, all of them must be informed. Because, and the funny and interesting thing is, whether we like it or not, these are the people that are going to determine what the future of this country is.
Exactly.
So if we do not develop them, we don't have any human capital. They are not skilled. You can't employ them.
Yeah.
They'll be all over the place, either on the street or in the ghettos, because they don't have any focus, they don't have any direction, and they don't have any purpose. So they are just there. What are you doing? Oh, me na a day. So make we go, oh, where they go? Then they all jump onto the wagon and then they just go. But if we have informed them, we have given them some focus, direction, some role models, because they look up to a lot of people. They look up to a lot of people, and sometimes the calls that you get, the messages,
and the kind of questions they ask you.
And
this experience I can never overcome, and I can't, discuss with her. So let me come. A young girl sent me a message I didn't even know she was a 9-year-old. This is about 4 or 5 years ago, and I still haven't gotten over it. Because when I had my first menses, it was my father I told. And I remember I said to my father, that time he didn't even know. He took his white shirt, tore it, and gave it to me to use to clean myself. And then later I went to ask, my sisters who were then had left home with school, and then what to do with me and all that. But this 9-year-old girl sent me a message on Facebook, telling me that she's had her menses and she's afraid to tell her mother. I mean, I still have goosebumps. What? Why can't you just get my mommy will say I'm spoiled and she'll beat me? And I'm like,
this is real life.
This is real life. So I had to call the mother. And that time I hadn't even thought about marriage or even have a child or nothing. She just knew I deal with young people. I So I had to call the mother. And the mother's first reaction justifies the child's fear. It justified it. The only thing, that worked for me was that, I was on TV, so she liked me. So, and now we are still friends. Every now and then we chat and, with the mother and everything. And then those who come to me and tell me that, listen, I'm of a different sexual orientation, but I can't tell my parents. My father is a pastor. My mother is sister. I can't tell them. And there's been so many of them, again, same woman. I have to tell their parents. And the reaction, and the tears, and the cries, and the curses, and the, invoking of whatever it is.
It's difficult. I think early on in the program you mentioned, especially in our society, I think everything about our culture is not bad, but sometimes some bits of it is counterproductive, where your parenting or your child's behavior is almost a measure or an indicator of a good parent you are. So many people would rather be protective. Because if nobody hears about my adolescent boy or girl, the assumption is that he or she is good. So there's this continuous suppression that as long as no one else knows, then we are good.
We are good to go.
And it's not good enough, because it's better to explore. Maybe COVID in a way after the outbreak helped in a way where many people, maybe not many, but quite a number of people stayed at home to work, where there was some restriction, and we were forced to all interact with our children. You realize that many of us would confess that you can't even stay, you couldn't imagine staying with your child for 3-4 hours without work. You would quickly go to find work when work was the excuse why you couldn't interact with them. That means there is actually no relationship. And I think, first of all, parenting should be intentional. It should be intentional. We all don't grow to receive certificates to become a parent. It's biologically your status, because you either maybe adopted someone or maybe you decided to deliver at a point. So you became a parent because of circumstances. And so you don't go through any training. So you have to be intentional. And When I go home, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Sometimes the details that I receive from the children, I'm like, okay, if I need not cut out some details, because the moment you make the child or your adolescent think that I don't need this detail, then they process and say, okay, then the next time I'm having a conversation, I decide to screen what I need to tell you. So that is foundational. And for the adolescents as well, I think they need mentors. Like it or not, the best of parents, there are some things that you would feel shy of. You know, in our local language, there are words that as a doctor, when you spoke in English, you don't sound as though it's vulgar. But when you speak in the local language, it's the same thing you are communicating, but you come across as, this is a bit bizarre. So I agree we need to have a lot of programs, and like we do, Mrs. Ejabin, we move on from there, because many a time the program, when the teenagers come in, they are excited, like I said, but they switch off so quickly. So that we need some continuous mentoring where you are not, again, the adolescent. Sometimes you go for this program and the next message you get, oh, can I get 100 Ghana cedis? Can I get 50? Everybody is quick to get money. It's not that. If I come across as a doctor, if I come across as your pastor and we are having an interaction, I've guided you, these are the programs available. The next few messages, I know you may be in need, but you don't ask for a shoe. Sometimes the phone they are asking for, I don't use that kind of phone, and somebody needs a little money to top up the latest model of phone. I'm like, okay. Just because you see, so I think we can't be. There's a balance. I think the adolescents should acknowledge that they need mentorship that is active, but they need to build a relationship with their parents too.
Well, let me take another break. When we come back, we'll look at peer pressure and we'll give direct message to the young ones, the adolescents, how to handle some of the challenges that they go through, and also make them understand that life happens. It's part of the growing up process. Just a few days ago, I did a write-up about, growing up, and some of the things, because I was just sitting there and it just hit me that, these are the things that I've been through, and that's why I am where I am. Because I look at other people and they're struggling with certain things, and I'm like, really? It shouldn't be. Forgetting that I was there and I felt the same way, about it. Well, let me say thank you to our sponsors, GTP, still timeless. GTP is on the Oga campaign. That's by GTP, that is made in Ghana. That is, direct from GTP. You can get it from any of the accredited dealers across the country, and it's always written the GTP, dealer from Mokola to Kumasi, wherever they are there, or any of the Woodin shops, or go online, www.buygtp.com. And thank you to Esteron Balloons and Accessories. Everything balloons and accessories, you can trust them. Thank you so much. We take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the way forward. Welcome back to The Standpoint. Challenges confronting today's adolescent. Yes, mama, daddy, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa. Their challenges today, the adolescents of today, is way different from what you went through. I'm telling you, way different from where you went through. Well, let me say thank you to our supporters, Standing Florals and Decor. They give us the plants, the natural and the artificial ones for the set. Royal Drinks, Puma Drinks, and Awake Purified Mineral Water by Casapreco Company Limited. House of Food, Auntie Vera. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Kodam's Gift and Stationery. Everything gift and stationery, just get in touch with them. Your cleaning services, they are ready to do all your cleaning before and after whatever the event, big or small. Just get in touch with them. Go-Got Yogurt by Parental Food, Juice Time, Cake Technique, and all our supporters. We are grateful. Reverend, peer pressure.
Yeah. When I was growing up, that's not to say I had perfect friends, but some of my very close friends were people who, in the exams, were coming up first, second, third. And when I come up like fourth, fifth, I feel sad because I can't compare. They are doing well. Yeah. They are always pushing me. And there are others who you go to church and then they are praying. You're like, hey, child, we are all just the way. So this one, Charlie. So I must say there are some peers who push you
Yeah.
way above where you can be.
So
and
there's positive
peer pressure
and there's
negative peer pressure. And the negative ones, you see, unfortunately, are very common, and it's easy to come by because you go to school, somebody is holding a clean pair of, maybe, what do I say, a watch that combines with the shoe or the sneakers and the bag, and you think, okay, that's nice, I will have it next time. And the following day, they bring another that combines, like, no, daddy, you need to get me some of this. So it's natural. Sometimes it's not active. It's some kind of pressure that comes that nobody's telling you to do this or that, but the people around you are naturally telling you, this is where I've got into.
Yeah.
But you don't look at yourself and say, perhaps it's not a reflection of who they are. It may be a reflection of where they are coming from because their parents are able to afford it. It doesn't mean much for them to get it. But maybe for you, that bottled water that your mom has given you is good. Like, especially when I remember
They
when
hustled before they got it.
it's difficult. And, I remember when I was in school, I think I still remember this one in class 6 because every time my mom prepared food for me when we were going for our day, but I was like, no, my friends don't come with this. They always come with a pack of food, and they would come with a particular brand, maybe from this restaurant. So in class 6, I told my mom, I'm not taking.
You have to buy.
And those people came with school bags. I didn't. Now I'm looking back and I'm like, and I was like, my mom would give me basket. And like, I'm a boy. I said, no, only girls take basket to school on our day. And these people will bring bottled. My mom would give me like. I always compared myself, and nobody told me to do all of that. But I thought,
naturally.
no, yes, I had to. So it's natural. Peer pressure happens at all levels. It can be passive, where you feel compelled to meet a certain expectation because of the things you see. But it is more dangerous where, because of the interpretations we make, maybe you are into college or SHS, and then somebody is performing well, and he says, "Oh, I'm performing well because I take this particular drug." Or you see people breaking bounds out of school and maybe sleeping with girls, boys, and they say, "Oh, it doesn't affect much." And then you go once, you are not caught, then it now changes your view of it. So I think our adolescents, again, maybe we can't overemphasize this, education and having some ethics to say that I won't do this despite what it takes. Because some of them may come very subtle ways where it doesn't cost you too much. I mean, especially with the drugs, when it comes to peer pressure, I rarely would recall any of the people that I know who took drugs initially by buying, or because they start with experimentation. And I say this with a lot of pain because I've started off life with a few friends who very good, solid. We went and then they just wanted to feel, I mean, not the drug, but they wanted to feel equal. And it's I say this with a lot of pain. And the outcome was bad. I know some of them who are still hooked on. You speak to them, they naturally they go off not because you don't want to get over, but because they've now attached themselves to this group, they feel you are also not with them. And to finalize, WHO says many of the causes of death, especially worldwide, is as a result of injuries. And when you are hooked on to these kind of medications or drugs like cocaine and marijuana, all of that, the injuries could result perhaps when you are driving. Or you go for a party and you swim and you drown. Or sometimes it results in interpersonal violence. You go for these parties and something that's very little would trigger something big. And so please, an adolescent watching me this today, please make sure that you don't start off. You may think that you have the desire to just experiment and pull off. It's more difficult breaking a habit. It's more difficult breaking a habit.
Difficult breaking a habit, and especially a bad habit.
Yes.
Mercy.
It's sad because first of all, like he has said, the peer pressure is there, is real. There's a positive and there's a negative. And so for us as adolescents, let's be challenged by those people who we see who are examples. I mean, there are people you see, some people come from some homes that you know that economically is a challenge for them. But the person is really pushing, forcing, and the person almost always looks excited. about something or about nothing. It's because there's some fulfillment that comes with achieving a certain goal or achieving something you set yourself to do.
Right.
Performance in any of your subjects or any of your areas. But again, adolescents have untapped potential, skills, and talent. And we've seen a lot of them come to play within this COVID time when they either had to be home or they had to try out something. And so the encouragement is that let the peer pressure push you or challenge you to come out with something good in you. Because there's so many things that, they can do. A lot of them can draw, they can act, and now this spoken word has taken another dimension, but they are, through it, communicating. Some of them are just either dancing or other things. So the peer pressure is there. But tell yourself that I also want to be an influence on somebody. I want people to look up to me and follow me. Because with the peer pressure, you follow people because of what they are doing. So who is following you because of the positive thing you are doing or because of the impact you are having on people? That's very important. But ultimately, we must put systems and structures in place to respond to these issues because they are real. They are there. And that is what is shaping and forming their opinion and whatever they want to be. If we can't fail them. We can't fail them.
Mercy, let me see your magazine for the teen magazine. Where can it be found?
So we have copies at the Christ the King bookshop.
Okay.
And then M. Sims at Osu.
Okay.
Those are the two main places that
that is the Discovery teen magazine. So if someone wants to join, and I know Reverend Doctor sometimes comes to talk to your group as well, how do they get involved if there's a parent or there's a teen there's an adolescent?
Okay, so look for us on Facebook. We are Discovery Teen Magazine, or on Instagram as well. But we usually do our Discovery Teen chat. Thanks to Victory Bible Church, especially the presiding bishop, my father, Bishop N.A. Takiaboy. We are because you are. Thank you so much. That is where we hold the Discovery Teen chat. Everything we do there. When we advertise on our page and then on social media, Discovery Teen Chat or Discovery Teen Magazine. So you can.
That's for Facebook and Instagram. It's easy for people to go there and follow you or find out. So in conclusion, then I'll let Reverend. We
have to.
We may be older than him, but the anointing makes a difference.
So in conclusion, Gifty, our adolescents need our help. They need us to support them, to help them go through the process. We have been there before. We've had our own experiences and our challenges, and we have overcome them. And that is what makes us better placed to guide them. And my people, when mommy, daddy, the aunties are telling you, don't tell them that they don't know what's up. Things have changed, but many things remain the same. So listen to us, listen to them. And when you have the challenges, of course, there are some people you cannot speak to. There are avenues. Worry Auntie Gifty. Worry her on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. You can also go to Discovery Teen Chat, either Facebook or Instagram. Place your questions there. And when we have our events, you can be part of it. But ultimately, we are looking up to you. We are depending on you because, listen, you are tomorrow's transformational leaders. And you can't fail us. We're depending on you.
Reverend.
I think Ms. Mercy has almost said everything. My take-home message for first-time parents is, like I said early on, parenting is usually something that occurs when you've not necessarily gone through training. And our adolescents suffer a lot from certain decisions that we take in marriage, as well as the whole household. So even before I comment earlier about relationship between parenting and then adolescents, I would ask that the couple, mother, father, should as much as possible be in a certain consonance, because sometimes when there are differences, it affects the children or the adolescents in school, their relationship, and then they tend to feed off some emotional support from elsewhere because they know the household is disintegrated. So we as a couple, as married people, should try and stay together. So parenting. And for the adolescent, I must say that it is documented that this is a very challenging phase in your life, whether you're in Australia, whether you're in Canada, you're in Ghana, South Africa, it's a challenging phase. And that's why through Madam Gifty, you know, that Standpoint has given you this opportunity to learn. I know this is just going to be a start off, but you need to learn gradually how to deal with it. It has a lot of rapidly growing physical, cognitive, and behavioral changes. But just decide that there are avenues that you can go to. And as an adolescent, I know, especially with social media, the fact that there are numbers in a certain way or people are talking about this doesn't really legislate or validate it. Because many a time, a temptation will come because you see a trend and there are many people, top trend, maybe number 2, number 3. It doesn't necessarily mean that trend is right. And so just make sure that you keep your tap. And the best, one of my pastors says, Reverend Mreku, Providence Mreku, of also Victory Bible. He says, if you're an adolescent in this age group or in this stage of life, he doesn't expect you to put a big car or a dream house as your status. He expects you to put up your goals as your status, because if you're able to achieve goals, those cars will come. Thank you.
If you're able to achieve goals, those cars will come. It's a process. It's a state.
Yes.
First things first.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You take a break. When we come back, I'll give you a bit of me. But don't forget, you know, sometimes reading gives us so much power. And reading the right books and magazines, watching the right programs also contributes to our well-being and, you know, our development and how we look forward or progress to our future. So this is it. Discovery Teen. Follow them on Facebook and on Instagram as well. My books are also out there. You know, it's the, you know, the vendors, the places you can get them to buy. The 3 books, that's A Bit of Me, The Best of You, 50 Nuggets at 50. I share my experiences, my challenges, my failures, and everything. They are on there. You can also call 0543-618182. And we are some few months to the end of the year. You know, happy feet. Please, let's start contributing. Yeah? Brand new shoes for children in rural communities. This year, we are targeting 5,000 children in rural communities with brand new shoes. For me, it's this simple. Shoes gives you some confidence. Confidence to walk boldly into your future. Shoes, brand new shoe tells you that you can always turn your life around with the help of God. I'm a woman of faith. With the help of God, irrespective of where you are, irrespective of your background. There are many children who don't have parents like us who may know what's up. So you out there, it doesn't have to be your biological child. No. It doesn't have to be somebody you even know. But you can touch somebody's life directly or indirectly. Who knows? We never know the future. We may one day benefit from fruits that have been produced by trees that we didn't know we helped plant. So we need to help provide the seeds now. We need to be involved in the planting of the seeds that will grow and nurturing the trees, so that in future, we and our children can benefit from the fruits or the shades provided by the branches of the trees that we help plant today. I'll be back with a bit of me. Hello, my dear adolescent. Do you know that Auntie Gifty has been a child before? Yes, I was once your age. Listen, my dear one, yes, maybe we may not get you. We may not understand what you're going through now because you're in a different age. Yeah, you know what's up. Maybe we don't know. But you see, some of us have traveled that journey before. So when we try to talk to you, it's not because we want to dictate to you or want to rule your life or ruin your life. No. It's because most of the time we don't want you to make the mistakes that we have made in the past. Yeah, we may look okay. We may look, up and, upbeat and all that, doing well and on TV and doing all sorts of things. But we have our scars. And some of those scars have a way of affecting us negatively. We try to guide you not to fall into those traps that we fell into, because you may not be lucky. You may not be saved, or no one may rescue you, and we may lose you. We value you too much. You mean too much to us to just watch. So yes, we will talk. All I want from you is to listen. Just listen and take what you can. You are very analytical. You are intelligent. You have all it takes. Just think through it and find out if we are making sense. Dear parents, yeah, we all the hustle. We know they see top. Yeah, we don't get them. But guess what? We can learn. Let's trust the children we've raised. Let's trust God to help us to guide them. Not too much love, not overly restrictive, but being there and guiding them. Read, educate yourself, empower yourself to be there for your children. Not just the girl child, but the boy child as well. The adolescents need us. If you're not on social media, parent, get on, and you will know what is happening. Be there for them physically, emotionally, psychologically. Be there. There's nothing wrong with you being your child's friend. I'm not an expert on parenting. Hey, I'm crawling. I'm still learning. But then I know that with God on our side and with determination, we will get there. I am just a woman with super crazy faith in God. I know God has got us covered. But you know what? He has given us wisdom. Let's apply it. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.